Hello everyone, Mike here. Welcome to the High Heels of Bitcoin show. My guest today is Kristina Cornèr from CoinTelegraph. We will have very interesting chat. Without any further ado, let's get started. Hello Kristina, how are you?
Hi Mike, thank you very much for having me here. I'm great. What about you?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty good. It's not that hot today in Poland, so we used to have like 2 or 3 very hot weeks, and now it's. Do you use Celsius degrees in Italy?
Yeah, Celsius, yes.
So it's around 20 Celsius. So it's.
Oh my gosh, that's paradise. No, here
Yeah.
it's around 35,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, we used to have it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It was like some 30 plus degrees during the day, and then thunderstorm or rain at the night. So it was difficult. So because Poland is not Italy, it's not that hot country. Most of the houses that do not have air condition. So
Oh. Well, I prefer not to use air conditioner because once you turn it on, then you are addicted for all summer. So,
yeah, it's like driving a car with an air condition. Once you start driving this car, then you cannot return. So yeah, I used to drive a car without air condition, and it was like, okay, it's normal car. What do you want? And then I started driving the one with air condition, and there is no coming back.
But I like your background. It makes me feel more fresh and
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's only a virtual background, so yeah.
well, we have to be satisfied with virtual reality recently.
Well, to be honest, I think it's not that bad these days. Of course, our air traffic is very limited. We cannot go to every country, but in my country, I think we can go anywhere. Of course, there is still this corona craziness going around, but it's coming back.
Even though I don't agree that we are getting back to normality, I think that this will be another normality.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Back to normality compared to what it used to be like 3 months ago. Of course, it will be a new normal, but then again, I think people will open their eyes and see what is really going on. I don't know what you think about it, because I personally think that it's not that dangerous as they claim.
Well, everything is dangerous and everything is not dangerous, and we are such a small creatures in the universe, so basically everything that affects us is such a small phenomenon on the universal scale. So I'm a little bit fatalistic about this, but I think it's now more impacting economy, businesses, and healthcare infrastructure rather than really health of the communities. And definitely impacted a lot social issues within different communities. I hoped actually that people will become more open and like supportive to each other, but it wasn't always the case. So
Yeah, I hope you are right, because I see it's completely different. People are separating from each other,
yeah.
not only because of politics, but because of their beliefs or their, I don't know. It's what worries me is that people lost the ability to speak to each other and disagree. People lost the ability to agree to disagree. So yeah, when you don't agree with me, then I immediately get offended. Of course, I don't work like that, but many people do.
Yeah, and the world is definitely full of hypocrisy.
Oh yeah.
Because of that, or as a consequence of that. But yeah, anyway, we are optimists, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we believe in a good future.
Of course. All right. So my first question for today, because I think we can discuss these side topics for like days. And so I would like to know a little more about yourself, some little form of self-introduction, so a little about your background, your history.
Okay, thank you for the question. So now I'm managing editor at CoinTelegraph, that is one of the biggest media outlets dedicated to blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I've been always passionate about technologies, and before getting to the blockchain sector, I've been working in other tech spheres, a lot in the energy sector, in IT, and I was always passionate about the technology and about its impact on the development of the future and the present. And I think that technology lies in people's ability to imagine future for themselves. And so my biggest passion is people. I adore communications. I adore traveling. I adore talking to people, discovering their cultures, translating things that they maybe are not acquainted yet to their languages. And I don't talk only about languages in a linguistic sense, but like language of different backgrounds, of different nationalities, of different genders, etc., etc. I have two academic degrees. First is in languages, philology. It's ancient Greek and Latin. That maybe is a bit strange for a person working in blockchain, but for me there is a connection, because I think that everything at one point has been innovative, and language is one of the most incredible innovations that human history brought during its development. So this is my first academic path, and the second one is political science, environmental politics, international relations. So I'm passionate about climate change politics and energy efficiency technologies, and how politics, business, academia are interacting in order to bring the best out of a technology into the world. It's not so obvious, actually. The same with blockchain.
Yeah, I've been doing a little research of your person, and I've been looking through your LinkedIn account, and I was like, okay, two, how do you call it, two faculties in St. Petersburg and Venice, and then 8 languages, and I was like, what? 8 languages? Do you really speak 8 languages?
Well, I've never counted them, and honestly, well, I work in 4. I've started I think 12 maybe, but in my opinion, language is such a big world that you never can, like, you should be shy, and people who really know languages, maybe they don't develop it anymore. So I'm a person, I prefer to be humble. I like talking. I like talking to people, and as soon as I find myself in a country where people talk a new language for me, I always try to start a dialogue and to learn some new words, etc.
Yeah, you should try Polish.
Yeah,
it's very difficult because our grammar is so complicated. We have like 3 tenses: past, present, and future, but those word endings and different cases, it's very difficult. Some people say it's even harder than Chinese. So I'm speaking that language, so I know because there is sometimes a lack of logic in this language, because even I have 14-year-old son, and when he used to learn speaking, he was making up some words, and when I thought about it, it was like, it should be that way, but it isn't. This word should sound like that, but it doesn't, so why? It's illogical.
Well, that's wonderful, because logic doesn't guide the development of the history.
Yeah.
Actually, if you get back to the history of any language, you can find this, well, it's not logic, it's like a coincidence that made this happen. And this is really incredibly interesting.
Yeah, I've been reading about some history of language, and it was sometimes like there was this one tribe, and there was the other tribe. They've been speaking the same language, and then they started fighting, and they started arguing with each other, and then they're starting speaking some words differently, and then completely different languages. Like I'm a Slav, so I speak Slavic languages, and I compare Polish to Russian to Czech to Slovakian. They are very similar, but they are different. So for example, for Polish people, Czech language is very funny because some words from their language are like offensive in our or very funny in our language. So.
That's incredible. And what makes me fascinated in Italy is that in a relatively small country, we have different languages inside. Then really people from the north won't understand people from the south.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, even in France it's not the case because, well, Languedoc and Languedoc were kind of centralized under the reign of Louis XIV and XIII. So yeah, Italy is really an exceptional case.
Well, to be honest, in Poland it's a bit different because we all speak Polish language, but there are some little groups of people who speak their dialects. So Highlanders speak some very specific dialect that some people don't. To be honest, I don't understand it. And there are some people in the north speaking completely different language. So of course they speak Polish. And then there is in my region there is some form of language. It's something between Polish, Russian, and Belarus. So something I don't even understand. So yeah. But in Italy, maybe it's because Italy used to be Roman Empire, right?
Well, I think it's because Italy became a unified country only in the end of 800. 19th century. So it was all full of separate little small countries that were very proud of being themselves. And you can still see this in every little village in Italy. Like every person prefers to say that he is from this village, then associate himself to a big city that is like 50 kilometers outside. So the people are offended if you I think even Italian is a word that Italians prefer not to use. So it's Venetian, Roman.
That way. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know that. I knew that there is some northern industrial part of Italy, and they are not too happy with the south of Italy or something like that, because I think the north is producing a lot or something.
Well, I think happy is not the best word, because in my opinion, Italians are always happy. Like really one of the happiest people in the world.
No.
Maybe that's why Italy is not so productive in terms of economy, and it's not so aggressive in terms of politics, because everybody is just so happy in this place where he lives, or the profession that he exercises, with the sun, sea, wonderful food, wine. So yes, but yeah, definitely there is some antagonism between the south and the north.
Yeah, but I think that they are in every country. In every country, some people complain about the others. So
yeah, the others is a key word.
Yeah. We are we, and they are the others. Yes. So okay, but let's move to the blockchain. So or Bitcoin maybe. How did your adventure start there? So was it like someone told you about this cryptocurrency thing, about this Bitcoin thing? Because for me, it's like, it used to Bitcoin, people were talking about Bitcoin. The term cryptocurrency did not exist at all. Then, after all, they started using cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, interesting observation. Well, as I said, I have been working in the tech sphere So basically, I've heard about blockchain, and as a technology, it was one of many different technologies. I wasn't very much delved into it, but it was something that interested me. And then it was, I think, September 2017 when I was contacted by my colleague from my previous journalistic experience, who told me whether I know someone who would be interested in joining CoinTelegraph. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm not sure that I know someone, but I would be happy to try. Like, this is something that definitely is interesting. It's new. I believe in new technologies because it's something that push our history forward. So, well, let's try. And actually, it started as a complete adventure. I was writing my thesis at the time, just so I took, before my first thesis, master thesis, and the second one, I worked. Well, I always worked. And then I was a little bit bored with all the work I was doing. So I took my, usually leap year, it's after the studies. And I took a leap year for another master degree. So I sent all my projects to freelance. I left the company where I did work, and for 2 years I was just freelancing, writing, translating, making some events projects all over the Europe, and writing my thesis on environmental politics. So it started as a total adventure. But very, very soon it became such a big part of my life. I also remember that when I started, Bitcoin was like 2,000, something like that. And then in my first 4 months, it got to 20,000 by December. Of course, I was one of those who didn't get their Bitcoins when they should have had it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I when I started, I decided, well, I will try to understand how it's working, and then let's see, I will invest. But I don't want to invest from the beginning because I'm not a very organized trader, let's say like this.
Well, to be honest, most of people are not traders. They claim they are traders, but they are not. So if you buy something and then you hodl or trade like once a week or once 2 weeks, you are not a trader. So you can call your...
But like within my team or people with whom I communicate on a daily basis, newsmakers, I see that there are so many experts, and I feel myself such an amateur. So I just know that here is my wallet, and here I can transfer my Bitcoins to my bank account. And for me, that's all. Like and then, I can forget my keywords, for example, and then wake up in the middle of the night because I had a revelation. So I'm not a very organized person.
Yeah, I will tell you something that may surprise you, but I always say that there are no experts in this space. You can be expert of, I don't know, Bitcoin or one project or one little thing, but I don't think there are cryptocurrencies experts because it's still too young. It's too huge. You cannot know everything. So when I live stream on every Sunday, people ask me, do you know this project or that project or this thing or that thing? And I spend a lot of time reading, searching for news, searching for new things. And I'm like, okay, there are so many things I have to learn. So that depends how, because when someone goes, oh, I know, I am an expert, I know everything, then I'm like, yeah, right. But there are very, very intelligent, very wise people in this space. So, like, for example, one example for me is like Andreas Antonopoulos, I think that's the word. Yeah, so he's like Antonopoulos. Yeah, it's Greek. I think it's Greek. So I am not sure how to pronounce it correctly. All right, you've mentioned CoinTelegraph. I think everyone knows it because it's like major crypto news center, major crypto site. For me personally, I record daily videos with cryptocurrency news, blockchain news. So CoinTelegraph is like my one of the few sites I I always visit to search for some news. Can you tell me about your work there?
Well, thank you very much. That's really honey words for me. We are working hard, and I really adore my team. I think we have a great team of enthusiasts and well, experts in their small areas, and people who are believing not only in the technology, but in they are believing that the world can change. And I think that is very important, because blockchain is a very liberal technology. It's for people who are not conservative in terms of their expectations from the future. They are very ambitious, and this is what we have at CoinTelegraph. Well, my work basically consists in managing the team. We have editors, we have our wonderful video department, social media department, publishers, artists, and we have our authors, who some of them are full-time, some of them are freelancers. So a lot of people, and I'm trying to be this. I'm not the only woman in the team. We have another editor. Our new weekend editor is a wonderful Emilia. But I also feel my role together with Jay Cassano, who is our editor-in-chief. He's like the man figure, patriarch of the CoinTelegraph development. And I'm this, you know how we say, in a couple there is like the man is the head and the woman is the neck.
Yeah, right. We have this the same saying in Poland. Yeah.
So I'm the neck.
Yeah.
I'm looking outside, pushing this head forward. Something like that. Well, honestly, it's very difficult to explain what is my work. I'm really working 24/7. Like even during nights, I have notifications on my watch. So sometimes I have to wake up because I don't know, Bitcoin always decides to pass some important price when I'm sleeping. So yeah, that's a passionate part of my life, even though not the only one, but I'm there 120% and always full of new projects and new developments.
And I am pretty sure you're happy with your job, right?
Well, yes, I'm happy with everything actually. You know, my Telegram account name is Violently Happy. Maybe you know this Björk's song. This is kind of my hymn.
Well, I know Björk, but I don't think I've heard this song. So
I will send you if you want.
all right, sure. So about this head and neck, so it's like he's the head, but you are pointing him in the right direction.
Well, he always can point himself. Like I don't think that there is like a leader. Of course, he's the leader because he's editor-in-chief. But I'm trying to give him all the support, and I'm also connecting all the body with the head. So without neck, there won't be fully this connection.
Yeah, that's why I use CoinTelegraph as one of my main news sources, because I consider it very high quality. So yeah, your team is doing like great job. But is it like it's just one team, or there are many teams of CoinTelegraph?
Well, we have the global team where I'm working, and then we have regional versions. We have, gosh, I always forgot, 12 or 13. Sorry for that, because we're always developing. So we also have, for example, Italian version here in Italy. We have a version in Japanese, in Arabic, in Chinese, Korean. We have two versions in Latin America, in Spanish and in Portuguese. We have a version in German. Not in Polish yet.
Yeah.
In Turkish. I hope that I haven't forgotten anyone. Anyway, yes, we have a very big decentralized team. So during COVID, actually, for us, nothing changed because we were always working in this decentralized environment. But I also wanted to tell you that I appreciate a lot what you say. We are definitely working so hard to bring this quality journalism into the space because, as you said, the technology is so new and people maybe are unexperienced a bit in terms of like conservative classical business making, also in journalism and in communications with the media. So we've made a great journey from the beginning of CoinTelegraph. And even in these 3 years that I've been working there, like I see that everything's changed drastically, and we keep working on being this Bloomberg, New York Times of the crypto industry.
Yeah, and I am pretty sure you will do a great job and you will be at the top, but I hope it won't, because some of mainstream media, this traditional mainstream media, became like politics driven, so they like taking sides. For example, they support Trump or they support the other side in different country. In Poland we have the same thing. We have pro-government media and anti-government media, and for me personally, all media should be like neutral. They should report the facts. They should report the truth, not report something because they don't like someone.
Well, yes, I agree with you totally, and at the same time disagree a bit because I think that it also reflects history of publications. So I think that it's just that we have publications that reflect different opinions for those who want really to know these opinions. But I definitely agree that these media have to present their position. So like,
yeah,
yeah,
as long as you present all different point of views, then it's okay. But because what I meant was they are only criticizing, not doing anything else. No matter what government does, they criticize, or no matter what they, for example, their competition. No matter what they do, it's great, it's perfect, it's something like that. So they've lost their objectivity. I know there are different opinions, and I am always up for people discussing topics, because I don't have to agree with you, but I like to discuss. Why? Why do you think that way? And it's great. And these days people are like, I don't agree with you. You offend me because you have different point of view. And it's sad. It's sad. I think humanity itself is sometimes going the very wrong way.
Yeah, but it's very complicated to like keep being impartial. Like I'm thinking about the blockchain sphere. Definitely politically, I think we are all rather liberal than like conservative. Of course, we are not. Well, okay, I'm talking about myself, but I can't imagine myself writing a pro-Trump article or like pro-Salvini in Italy. But at the same time, also talking about the projects and about the technology, sometimes it's difficult to be impartial, and that's definitely distinguishes quality journalism from some amateur reporting. And we are always trying to put at least 3 different points of view on every problem in order for this to be well, as possible, as englobing as possible. But at the same time, I remember, for example, in the beginning of my career in blockchain media, we were doubtful whether, for example, to cover, I don't know, another crime where people were using bitcoins for some illegal activity, because as the industry was very young, it could put some risk on the presentation of the technology. It's not because we wanted to conceal that, but we were considering some news as non-relevant to the blockchain community and blockchain cryptocurrencies news. Like, if it's a crime, how does it change whether a person used dollars, I don't know, euros or bitcoins? But I also think that there was some little part of, well, it's not fear, but of delicacy towards cryptocurrencies and blockchain in order not to present it in dark terms. Now we got freer in this, so we definitely can write about bad things in crypto. But I think in the beginning it was not the same.
Yeah, and in the beginning it was much higher than these days because, well, for me it's just a tool. Bitcoin is just a tool. Knife can cut your meat or bread, or you can kill someone with your knife. So it's just a tool. People need to realize it, that it's just a tool. US dollars are like top one currency used by terrorists, by, I don't know, mafia, some organized crime. And so, do you want to ban US dollar? No, it's just a tool. It's how you use it that defines yourself, not this tool. Because, okay, we may not agree with some. We may say that some things are bad, like narcotics, like heroin or cocaine. Yeah, they are bad. They don't serve any good purpose. I think that, but...
Well, you know, I also, like, when I start thinking about this, I know that it's maybe, you can cut this part if you want.
No.
It's not that I'm a drug addict, but, like, why narcotics are not legal and booze, alcohol is legal. Like, it's just because of lobbying. Because of lobbying.
Yeah.
There is no difference between marijuana and a glass of wine. There is no difference.
Of course.
Like, both of them influence our brains and our internal systems. But one thing is totally illegal and the other one is totally okay.
Okay, I have to explain this because I am like person 100% for the freedom. If you want to buy cocaine, you should be able to do that. It's up to you. So, for example, for me, everything should be legal. You want to use it, you want to kill yourself, do it, go ahead. I don't care. And yeah, you're completely right. Because some, like alcohol, like cigarettes, like some other things, they take taxes. And our governments one day said, it's okay, it's under our control, and this thing is not okay.
Sugar is the biggest drug.
Yeah, of course. Sugar is everywhere. And it's so hard not to eat this sugar. I am addicted.
Well, because it's our energy. Like, our brain knows that it's our energy, and that's why it's sweet for us.
Yeah, and of course there is sugar everywhere. And I know it was quite different because Poland used to be a communist country. And we had no sweets, we had no chocolate before 1989. And so I remember that. I was 9 years old when our country changed from communism to democracy. And now you can buy everything everywhere. It's all full of sugar. So it was easier for me because I was a child and there was nothing like that. And now our children are like, there is sweet drinks and those not energy bars though, like Snickers, Mars, and other things like that. Yeah, and sugar is everywhere, and it's very difficult for them to avoid it. So they became addicted, and then there are many different projects, and then quality of the food dropped very much.
Yeah, of course.
And we are happy to live in Europe because, for example, in Italy, you have real tomatoes, right? When you try, I've never been to US, but my friend told me when you try American tomato, it doesn't taste like tomato. It's when you eat tomato in Europe, it tastes like tomato. When you try any vegetable, it tastes like this vegetable, and in US, it's like full of water.
Well, interesting. Well, I think it also depends on places.
Yeah, of course, because
I'm pretty sure there are people who have their own gardens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is nothing similar to the tomatoes. For example, my fiance is growing tomatoes in our 2 square meters garden here. And yeah, that's just the most wonderful tomato that I've ever tried.
Well, in Poland, it's my grandfather used to plant tomatoes, but it was very, very difficult. They were great, but I think our soil wasn't good enough for them. So
not even the weather.
I don't think it's the weather. I don't. He had like this. I don't know how to call it, greenhouse or yeah. So he had them there, so it was much hotter. But I think it was the soil, and he had to do some traditional fertilizers. So okay, let's not talk about it because there is this thing with those cows and other stuff. All right. Next question. I feel like one question evolves into. All right, crypto and blockchain in Italy. How does it look there? Like, how is your community?
Well, actually, Italian community is incredibly active. Then there is also like regulators, and I think regulators are a bit frustrated in every country.
Oh yes.
And then there is this active community that pushes forward wonderful projects. We have actually a very active community here in Veneto. We have Bitcoin meetups since I think 2017, 18, I don't know. So I also think that that's because a lot of Italians, a lot of hackers are Italians.
Not North Korean?
Well, I don't know. I've never met any North Korean person. Like, okay, met, but maybe not talked in all confidence. So I don't know. Maybe I met them, but undercover. But Italians are great with technologies, with okay, not all of them, in the sense that it's a very small part of the community, but it's, I don't know, a kilometer ahead of all the other people in the country. So, for example, we had this lockdown crisis where everyone started using Zoom for their professional activities, like dance schools started doing dance classes online, and I don't know, bars were organizing some degustations of wine through Zoom, etc., etc. But who didn't have any issues with switching to virtual communications was the blockchain community. It was one of the first events that I had online that was actually organized in Italy. It was a Bitcoin meetup, and then there were some regular meetings with some Italians from all over the country. So yeah, I would say Italy has a great potential, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's not only Italy, because it's great to have this active community. In Poland, we are a pretty small country compared to Italy or Germany or France, but we have very active community. And about this Italy being 1 kilometer right in front of every other people, like being most of the hackers, a lot of hackers in Italy. In Poland, we think about Italy like you have great cars like the Ferrari, Lamborghini, but you have also some.
It's a symbol of Bitcoin, so yeah. Italians could, and then also banking was invented in Italy.
Oh.
So in Florence and in Venice, the first banks in 15th, 16th century, it was in Italy. So we have to continue this tradition.
Yeah, I know Italy produces a lot of professional machines like these CNC centers and other stuff. My friend works with glass. He has like some huge company, and he has a lot of Italian machines. And I service them, and I am from like, what the hell those Italians did? Why is it that way? Yeah. All right. So now next question. It's not a financial advice. We always have to say that. Do you have any favorite cryptocurrencies? Is it like Bitcoin only, or maybe some altcoins?
Well, as I said, I'm not a very savvy person in terms of trading. So and also I'm, how to put it? Money is an invented thing. So like, what is money? It's just something that is related to the price, to the value that we attach to some service, product, or whatever. So if we talk about technology, I'm passionate about all the cryptos because I'm interested in discovering what was changed from the original Bitcoin blockchain in order to create this or that currency, or is it not using blockchain? Is it like a payment network, or is it a token, etc., etc.? So that's why in this I'm very impartial, and I like following even scam tokens just to understand what is behind. That's interesting. Well, otherwise, of course, I follow all the biggest, I don't know, top 5, let's say, I don't know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, I don't know, Tether is something interesting for me as a technology. Controversial but interesting. Well, everything controversial is actually interesting. Yeah. Then, well, stable coins. Then I don't know. I'm personally, I'm very looking forward to something like Libra.
Yeah.
Because it will definitely change the world. And then I prefer to talk about these currencies with people who created them than just invest and see what's happening. Like, for me, it's just numbers in the end, if I invest. Because as I said, like I'm rather a communicator and a journalist than a trader. But definitely behind every cryptocurrency there is a project, and behind every project there is a philosophy, a technology, an idea, and that's very interesting.
Yeah, great. All right, more questions. 2 topics, but it's like one question. I assume you've heard about, I think everyone in this space heard about this Twitter hack thing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 10 in the evening, 11 in the evening for me. And our wonderful colleagues got to the studio, European studio, very late. So they were already at home. They took taxi to get back to the studio. We did a live streaming for 2 hours. So we actually ended, for me, was 3 in the morning. So yeah, I remember very well that day.
Yeah. Did your, I don't remember, did the CoinTelegraph account got hacked or?
No, can you imagine? I don't consider this a coincidence, because I think that was because our SMM team activated 2FA from the beginning.
Well,
I don't know whether it's related or not, but I'm pretty sure that it is.
I don't think so. It might have been just a pure luck, because it was like, we still don't know all the data, because Twitter said something about one of the employees being hacked and using those administrative tools to access the Twitter core, and they hacked like 120 or 160 accounts.
No, there were incredible accounts that were hacked. From Netanyahu, Obama, Jeff Bezos.
But you know what makes me wonder? Because it's not like, okay, let's say Obama tweets, I will give you 2 bitcoins if you send me one. So it's not like when you are walking down the street, you never heard about Bitcoin. You can just buy this Bitcoin, send it to him, and you will lose your money. Those people, I assume those who send those money were in this space from some time. And when you are in this space, how stupid you must be to believe it's true. Everyone everywhere says, do not send money there. They are scammers. They will steal your money. You will get nothing back. And even if you don't know about anything about cryptocurrency, when someone wants to give you money, he will give them to you. Why does he require you to send him some money? So for me, it's like, what the hell? Once again, and they still, this Elon Musk fake giveaway gathered like $2.5 million. So I was like, oh my god, again?
Yeah, but that hack exactly, the Twitter hack, actually hasn't gathered so much money. It was
no.
Like 120,000, well, maybe now a bit more, but yeah, that's a very interesting observation. Yeah, that actually, it should have been some people who had already the Bitcoin, but can you imagine, I don't know, like, especially 2017, 2018, like I was contacted by people who were like, calling my fiance and asking, I've heard that your fiance is working in blockchain. So how should I invest now? Yeah. Will I like become rich? Let's make a meeting. let her explain to me how is it working. And then, guys, sorry, like it's not working like this. Like you invest 1,000 euros and then you have 20,000 euros tomorrow. Like unfortunately, it's not like this. I suppose that a lot of people who sent this money to Obama or Warren Buffett were those who maybe just invested, tried, I don't know, and then they saw this. I think it's more a problem of our society in general. We are giving so much trust in social media, and unfortunately, like for me as a journalist, sometimes I'm just shocked that my friends even tell me that they've heard about this through Instagram. Like, what does it mean even? Like, definitely the COVID situation showed us that we shouldn't read every source of information. Otherwise, we just get crazy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm not sure that people have learned from it. So there are those who prefer to go to sources, to original sources. And there are others who just see something on the TV or on Twitter or on Instagram. But I totally agree that even already people who are using Twitter, it's not the same people who are watching television. So I'm pretty sure if TV was hacked by some Bitcoin scam, they would gather much more, even in one time.
Yeah, and about this TV, I think it wasn't even the TV, it was this radio show. So when they first read this book, War of the Worlds, and people were like, the Martians are invading they believed this show is real. So yeah, and about media, there is this meme thing flying around Poland. It's something like, it's in Polish, so I will have to translate it. Every dictator, every bad government would love the power that today's media have over the people.
Yeah.
So media are
media
are so powerful. So people are so blindly believing that everything on the TV is true that I'm shocked. What can we do?
Well, I feel this responsibility every day as a journalist, because, yeah, definitely everything that goes, especially on the web, it has already its weight, and it can influence someone. What can I say? Education.
Yeah, completely.
There always have been stupid people, and there will always be.
Not only stupid, but also greedy people, because it's not always stupidity. So it's sometimes, or maybe most of the times, it's greed. They want to get rich quick. That's why they invest.
But getting back to the Twitter hack, I have a question for you, Mike.
Sure.
Do you think that it was positive for the overall sentiment towards crypto? Like, did it give some promotion of crypto to those who maybe were not acquainted with what is Bitcoin, or was it like, is bad PR always a PR or not?
Well, no, I tend to agree that it was one of the biggest Bitcoin commercials in the history. So I think it was positive. At first, it looked like it's Bitcoin's fault, it's their fault, but then people starting to see that no, it's not Bitcoin's fault, it's Twitter's fault. They've got hacked because of some form of poor security. They gave access to some guy from their team. I can understand that, but they have to improve that. So it shouldn't be that one person can access every major account on this platform. It's really huge. It's like mainstream media, presidents, politics, top of the world people using this Twitter right now. Imagine what could have happened. So, for example, they could hack Donald Trump account and started sending some like very bad tweets. Some people claim that it could have even ended with some form of military conflict.
Of course, for sure. Like, yeah. This was kind of obvious, as you said. Like, this is a scam. At least it's something that it's not politically colored. But yeah, if it was some terroristic organizations or some sort of political propaganda.
Yeah. But for Bitcoin, I personally think it's biggest commercial in history. We will see. So time will tell. But you know, one more thing about this mainstream media platforms like Twitter and YouTube. There are a lot of scam giveaways on YouTube. We are reporting them, and it's sad because my video starts with commercials because I have this commercial things on, and people report to me that before your video starts, I have scam giveaway commercial, and YouTube is doing nothing about it. So I am like, okay, why don't you block real channels, you block educational content because of some algorithm testing. For example, one of my friends from Poland, he has a slightly bigger channel than mine. Their channel got removed. Of course, they did some live stream with clickbait video title. But it was pure education. There was nothing wrong there. They wanted to lure people to their video to explain to them that you will never get anything back. If you send those Bitcoin, Ethereum or anything other to those people, you will never get anything back. And their channel got removed completely. And YouTube is like, we don't care.
Yeah, unfortunately, there is this centralized big social medias that as we just saw are not secure 100%. And then, yeah, they are very selective in their approach. So actually our live stream of Twitter hack was blocked in the end. Then it was unblocked, but still. Or for example, we made a wonderful live stream during Bitcoin halving.
Same here. Same here.
In May, and it lasted like 7 hours.
Wow.
And during the last hour, it was blocked. Fortunately, we retransmitted it to Facebook and I think Twitter. So we still have the stream there. But on YouTube, it's blocked.
Yeah, and that's YouTube for you. Yeah, Bitcoin halving was my top live stream. I invited like 14 people from Poland. We've been talking, waiting for this block to appear. It was like 1,300 people watching at the same time. So for me, it's like all-time high.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was great. And then I invited two ladies, and it was like this blog appeared, and they joined this our Zoom conversation. So it looked like they were waiting for it to happen. So yeah. Yes, it's part of history right now. But of course it was in Polish, so
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I do live stream every Sunday. It's called Crypto Sunday with Mike. Some weekly summary. Of course, I invite my friends, and it was like over 100 episodes, 120 or something like that already.
Great.
So,
You
yeah,
have definitely a passion.
yeah,
Spend
yeah,
for
yeah,
Sundays
yeah.
time.
For me, it's a passion, right? I have normal job.
Normal. I like that you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. Yeah, and crypto is my hobby. So, and I like to stay that way. Even if I will learn enough to be full-time crypto, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Yeah, like
All right.
diversification of investments and diversification of professional interests. I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. All right. And now one more, not one more, but another question. A woman in crypto space, because it's a very interesting topic, and I would like to hear your point of view, because generally ladies say that it's okay. Men are very very helpful. What are your what is your opinion? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I draw this question and I asked them to all ladies that I interviewed personally. But honestly, I'm not so like me personally. I'm not so obsessed with this topic because I think that we discussed this concept of the others. I think it's not only women who can be others.
Yeah.
Can be different nationalities and can be people who are, I don't know, are not speaking good English and they are also some others, and who knows what are they thinking about us if they are talking this language that we don't understand, or people of, well, of course, different color of skin or different backgrounds, also I think age, so like
Yeah.
What is funny is I think the blockchain sphere is the first industry where I worked where the younger you are, the cooler you seem to be. Like usually it's like, oh, you're still very young, you're green, you can't have your own opinion, so stay here and listen to the old people who know the life. While in crypto it's different. And it's like, oh, you just learned about crypto. You are already 30 years old, and you've been into crypto only for 1 year. No, it sucks. So yes, I think that what is important for every industry is to multiply voices, and definitely women is. Female voice is one of these voices that we can translate. But I'm not only female, I don't know, I'm a philologist, for example. That does mean that I'm not a technical person. And it also means that I'm another from the others in this sphere. Or, I don't know, I'm Italian, so I'm coming from here, not from the US. I think we are all sometimes forgetting that we are working in a globalized context. And when we are working on some project, we have to be able to look at it from the perspective of all people from different countries, from different backgrounds. And I think, well, the US is the center of the world. And I also see from the point of view of technological development. But there are also disadvantages of this position, because I see a lot of American people who are so focused on their American reality that they are just not able to imagine themselves something different. And definitely traveling helps you a bit to open and broaden your horizon. And that is maybe the biggest thing that I miss with the lockdown. Because it also, I know that every new trip gives me more perspective on the world, and that's very precious. I'm not a very active feminist, but I definitely defend women's rights because I'm a woman. but I also defend men's rights, because I think that sometimes men also are underrepresented in some areas of I don't know. For example, I personally think that men have all the rights to, I don't know, not work. And if within a family you decide that a woman wants to work more
Of
and
course.
to gain more, so I think this is also some pressure that we put on men. Usually, if you consider this gender distinction in couples, but then of course there are LGBTQ community that you can be a man, but you will be considered a different man because you are the other.
Well, I don't want to start this LGBTQ plus topic because I respect every person. If you want me to call you George, I will call you George. No problem. But if you want me, let's say for example, I do a lot of weightlifting. And then one day I decide, alright, my name is Kristina today. And I'm going to break women's world record on weightlifting. So, no. That's where I say no. So, for example, respect everyone, but there are some limits. Because I think some of the people want to take advantage of it. Because we have very open community and there are differences between us. So, for example, I cannot give birth to a child. I'm not a woman. And then I am probably stronger than 99% of the women around the world. And you cannot change that. So for me, I respect, but there are some limits to this. And
wise.
yeah, and for example, imagine myself going into boxing. I think it happened somewhere that they allowed men, biological men, to fight a boxing fight with a woman, and she ended like with their skull fractured or something like that. Yeah, we have to. Yeah, about feminism, I personally consider my view there are good feminists or bad feminists. For example, I am the person that fights for the women's rights. That's why I started this High Heels of Bitcoin show, because I want to present women. Because from my point,
incredible initiative.
Yeah, from my point of view, women are shy. Most of them. Some of them are like, all right, they are like men, but most of them are shy. They know a lot. They are the experts, or they know the drill, but they are shy, and I want to show them. They are out there. They are doing great job, and I want to show that they are doing great job, and you can do it too. You are a woman. You can do it too. Don't be afraid. Go out, do something. It's not like you have to be software developer. For example, like you said, you're linguist. No, how did you call yourself?
A linguist.
Yeah. So it's not like this crypto and blockchain space only needs software developers. It needs all of the people. And one more thing I wanted to add is about the US. For me, from my point of view, yes, United States are the center of technology and everything, but in blockchain, in crypto, not so much. So it's like worldwide. It's not like US and rest of the world. No, there is a lot of in Europe, in Far Asia, like South Korea, Singapore, Japan, even Australia, UK in Europe, and other countries. So it's not like US only.
Well, that's great. And I actually wanted to say this in the end, but I wanted very much to thank you for this initiative, because I think that's very important to present women in the industry, to talk about them, to give them opportunity to talk about themselves. And it's very symbolic that you're a man, because I think that maybe it's not that women are shy, but it's true that a lot of women are used to be like afraid of telling something that will be considered a stupidity by a man.
Yeah.
In general, I know more men who tell stupidities, not because they are more stupid than women, but because women are rather silencing the stupid things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why women live longer, because men tend to do stupid things. And in blockchain, it's like when I talk to a man, he is like either very professional or shut up and take my money. What is this project about? All right, it's Bitcoin. Okay, I will buy it. And women is like, what is it about? Let me analyze it. I have to learn more. So very, of course, not everyone, because there are exceptions. But in general, they are more careful, and men are more crazy. All right. Now we have COVID situation, so basically we cannot travel. But tell me more about crypto conferences. Did you visit any? Do you like to meet people? Do you like to participate in crypto meetups, crypto conferences, and stuff like that?
Oh yes, I adore crypto conferences. In my opinion, it's like a quintessence essence of everything about crypto, in the sense that it's people, projects gathered in the same time. It's also the context of a geographical location that, as I said, always brings some other points of view to your mind and helps you to look at the world through the eyes of some other people. So yes, I adore traveling, and crypto conferences have been a great part of my life, just till February 2020. My last conference was the World Economic Forum in Davos, and I remember that nobody was talking about COVID. The thing, like the biggest thing that was discussed as a disaster was Australian fires at the moment, and it was January already. Nobody, and then I got back, and within a week, all this disaster started. And I got calls from my grandmother who was asking me, were there so many Chinese in Davos? Are you sure you're safe? And then I remember that we adore eating sushi. And we went to a sushi restaurant. And in February and March, well, before the total lockdown, sushi restaurants were empty. Like poor sushi restaurants were suffering because people were not confident in going into these places. That's incredible. So yes, getting back to the crypto conferences, we also have our own that is called Block Show. We just went online as the others. I was also looking forward for some real events this year, as Webbit Festival, as Blockchain Istanbul Week, that should have been the first, I think, well, maybe the second in Turkey. So I like to discover new places that start considering crypto and blockchain as an important and interesting technology. I also like not purely crypto events. I like the way how it is integrated. I have been at the World Economic Forum in 2018, and I remember it was the first time that blockchain has entered the vocabulary of the Davos community, and it was incredible. Like people were very much into dividing Bitcoin and blockchain. Bitcoin is a scam and blockchain is a good technology. like, do you know that it's actually the same? Like, Bitcoin is based on the blockchain technology, and
people used to ask me this question, Mike, what is better, Bitcoin or blockchain?
Oh,
yeah, and I had to explain, like, for example, what is better, internet or the Google?
Yeah, I like very much this comparison.
Yeah, have you ever been to Malta Blockchain Summit?
Yes, I've been there. Well, Malta is an incredible place. We are actually preparing an article about Malta. Have been working on it today before our call. There is a new junior minister of digital economy. But as I've heard, they are now more aiming at being digital island than blockchain island.
Yeah, they promised a lot, Yeah, they promised a lot, but they didn't deliver those regulations. So
Well, it's a very special place, particular one. Like it's an offshore that at the same time is part of Europe. So it's kind of combines civilized European country and a total mess.
well, I talked to Jessica Walker from Malta Blockchain Summit, and she didn't tell me. She told me about how beautiful Malta is, but never told me about it.
Oh, it's very beautiful, but it's also very like, for example, there are no signs for pedestrians at any cross. Like you just cross wherever you want, and there are no semaphores. Like,
Maybe it's just because so small. So
well, it's so small, but it's like it's very mountainy and well, it's still a country.
well, yeah. Well, I
But
plan.
yeah, it's for Malta, and also one of my favorite characters, Corto Maltese, was born there. So.
Well, I plan to visit Malta Blockchain Summit this year because I think they are coming back this November.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I think the registrations are open right now. So yeah, we think we will bring some people with us because I want like 4 of us or 5 of us will join Malta Blockchain Summit this week.
So that's a wonderful place. And also like, so you have everything so close, like the airport 30 minutes and then like conference center. And then I remember before getting back to the airport, I just went to have a little walk on the beach, but there are beaches everywhere because it's basically a shore. And I found a colony of cats. Like there was, I don't know, 30 cats, and they were all living on the beach. And it was an incredible experience. I promised myself that I should get back. It's a wonderful place.
Yeah. About those meetups, I recently restored maybe is a bad word. We started meeting once again. I ran a local crypto meetup in my city, and we did this month. It was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. Around 20 people, and so of course I had to put hand sanitizer. I had to prepare some special list with names and phone numbers just in case anyone got infected or will be on quarantine. But 2 weeks have passed, so I can destroy this list. And we plan to meet again on not August, September. Yeah, so another.
Great.
Yeah, we meet every month. We discuss topic blockchain, and it's like we have some company with this special room for meetups. Well, it's not a room; it's a big, some form of hall or something like that. So they have like this projector, so we can show our presentations, and it's great. It's great. So yeah, I've met a lot of people, and now Poland is a pretty small country because it's like 6, 7, maybe 8-hour travel from one border to the other. And well, my city is Białystok. Is located like 200 kilometers east from Warsaw. It's northeastern Poland, so very close to Belarus border, like 40 kilometers from the border. And funny thing is when you go to Google Trends website and you type Bitcoin and select Poland, my region has the highest ranking. So people are like, okay, Mike, tell us that you are typing and searching for Bitcoin every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely
All right. Now my favorite part, some recommendations for this show. Maybe you can recommend some ladies I can invite. Of course, it would be better if you know them or have some form of contact with them, because I know I would love to have like Caitlin Long on my show, but it's very hard to contact them.
Well, of course, I know so many wonderful ladies in the space. Well, I have 2 great friends with whom we started the CoinTelegraph adventure back in 2018. So Molly Zuckerman, who is now head of content at CoinMarketCap, and Olivia Capozzalo, who is now content manager at OKX. Then there is a woman whom I highly admire is Sheila Warren, the head of blockchain at the World Economic Forum.
Wow.
I'm a fan of Malcolm Damaris.
Yeah, I would love to invite her to my show because I've been watching her on Twitter. Yeah, but I think I am not sure that her DMs are open, so it's not like I can message her.
Oh, okay, I see. And then I actually haven't met her in person, but we did some articles and interviews with her, and I always watch them with such a great interest. And for example, there is a wonderful woman, Marta Piekarska.
Yes, she's from Hyperledger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Head of community, head of something like that. That's a very interesting name of position. But she's a very tech savvy, and at the same time she communicates with so many businesses.
And I think she's Polish because her name is Polish.
Possible, she's definitely from that part of Europe. She's been living, I think, in England. But yes, so maybe it will be even an occasion to talk in Polish.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Yes, well, I definitely know more, but
you can always message me on Twitter and tell me.
Sure, with pleasure.
Yeah, all right. Now let's move outside of crypto space. I would like to ask about your hobbies. Of course, you've told me that you are 24/7 waking up on during the night to check Bitcoin is going to the moon. But I found something like ancient Greek culture, theater, and figure skating. So I was like, oh my god.
Yes, my first thesis, I'm a passionate theater goer, and my first thesis was written on ancient Greek tragedy. So yes, sometimes I read in ancient Greek, and reading is one of my big passions. Theater is one of my big passion. I'm a professional dancer, and I sing and play piano. So it also occupies a big part in my life. Then. Well, figure skating is another passion, but I've never skated myself. But I've been writing for a French magazine on figure skating. So it's also something that I like a lot. Then my fiance is in the rugby sector. So I also started being passionate about rugby and all the values that are developing inside this incredible world. And then I adore learning. I think that life is so full of incredible things and people. So every day I try to learn something new. I don't know. For example, this last days we have this comet Neowise. I'm a passionate learner of astrophysics, and this is something that makes me calm after a stressful day when I think of a universe that is such a big organism that we are so small compared to the real processes in the universe. And I adore eating and drinking and hanging out with my friends all over the world.
You don't look like you adore eating.
Well, because I'm very active. Well, I have always this balance of eating versus dancing and moving. So I think that's what helps me. For example, lockdown, I've been always dreaming of having my own dance school, but with my way of life, it's just impossible. But lockdown actually showed me that it's possible in the sense that if you create I launched, well, for the moment it's very, it's only for France, but potentially it could be developed. So I launched the digital platform for dancing. and I realized that I can dance and teach dancing from whichever place I travel, and that's incredible.
Yeah, that's great. And about this astrophysics, for me, I like physics, not only astrophysics. And for me personally, Neil deGrasse Tyson is great person. I think you should watch him on YouTube because he's very funny. Yeah, he's very funny. He's very intelligent, and he has this gift to explain very advanced things in very simple way. So yeah, I have like 2 books of his, and yeah. Yeah, very. Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Thank you for
Yeah. All right. And my last question for today is about your plans. What are your plans? Do you have any plans? Like, where do you see yourself in next year, 5 years?
5 years. No, 5 years is too far away. No, like 5 years ago, I didn't know what is blockchain, and you know where I am now. So yeah, I don't think so far away. But you know, I'm so open to every new opportunity that comes to my life. Also, the lockdown changed so much different balances within our lives. For example, I've been involved during lockdown into business facilitating community, and I think that I definitely am gonna continue doing this, helping businesses all over the world and in your own country to crisis manage and to solve different challenges that they encounter. Diversification of interests, work projects, new things, and things that you already know that you love. I'm maximalist in terms of try new things, and more things you do, more time you have. So time is very flexible.
I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that. For me, sometimes it's only 24 hours and you have to sleep. And
well, yeah, sleep is the biggest problem, even though I adore sleep. So yeah, like if someone is hearing me, I'm the first to try any cloning technology. Like I could be volunteer for this. That is something that definitely would solve so many problems.
Oh yeah, or maybe some form of time dilation field, so you could have more hours in a day to do the stuff you want. That was all of the questions I've had for you. Thanks so much. It's been a great time talking to you.
Thank you very much, Mike. It went so quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was a great pleasure and an honor to be here. And thank you again for promoting women in the industry. That's really a great initiative.
I will keep doing that because there are a lot of... That's why I started this in English, because originally High Heels of Bitcoin were in Polish, and I ran out of all women I can interview. Some said no, but now when I am in English, possibilities are endless. So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mike.